Speak. Okay, Debbie, we're ready for you.
Hi, I'm the yard lady. My name is Debbie.
I'm Susan Neal. I'm the next door neighbor.
I'm Dana Neal, the next door neighbor.
Simeon Stig across the street.
Barbara Hazelrig across the street.
Ann Wynn across the street.
Eddie Young, the husband of the sweet young thing doing this.
Yeah, right. Sit down and try to behave,
I
dear.
must live across the street.
Yeah. So obviously, I stole. I picked my neighbors.
Okay, wait a minute.
Is this where you're
Oh, turn it around.
You didn't have to beg.
Turn the camera around.
Okay, I was wondering what was going on. I didn't see anything.
You didn't have to beg anybody.
So does it say record?
Yes, it says
Right, you did
record.
the whole speech and it's not record.
I did that earlier.
Oh no.
Come on, Ed.
Okay, first I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your lives to help me make the dream of getting this degree and getting through this public speaking class, which we all know is the one we all want to take right away. And I know you would rather be at home watching TV than here listening to me talk about TV. That's what I'm going to talk about. I think maybe a generational thing, but when we were growing up, if your house had a TV, it was a big deal. And if your house had a color TV, your folks were doing well. And TV was a big perk. And we grew up on TV. By the time we had our own families, TV wasn't so much a big deal anymore. Pretty much everybody had one. We got our 3 channels, plus 2 really fuzzy ones if you played with the dial, right? And our parents were no longer there to control how much TV we watched. When we got our own homes, that perk of a TV became part of our daily lives. We went to work, we came home, we watched TV for a couple hours, went to bed after dinner. And I think a lot of us got there. And how we chose what to watch on TV might say something about us. Some people watch news and documentaries and the Discovery Channel. And we all watch the Weather Channel when the next hurricane is coming. Because it says something. We want to know where it's going to hit. Some people watch reality TV, which I've never quite understood. But I'm sure that there must say something about them if that's what they're choosing to watch. And so because today I don't get to watch TV after work, because I don't even get 3 network channels and 2 fuzzies, I actually buy TV series on DVD, and like anything else that we go out and spend money on, it says something about us, from the clothes that we buy or the car that we drive. It all says something about us that other people perceive based on what we've purchased. And I purchase my TV. Now a lot of us buy cable or satellite, but we don't think about, okay, this show is going to cost me $1.27 or whatever, you know, because you already paid for it. At this point, it's kind of free. For me, it's like, okay, is this worth whatever they want for it? Because each individual show that I buy or series I buy costs me money. I would like to think that the shows that I buy and the ones that I like the most provide some insight into who I am. So I'm going to talk about 3 of the TV series that I have purchased and maybe a little bit about what they say about me. The first one is Reba, who's a great country singer if you like country. And I really enjoy the comedy in this show. Reba is a divorced single mother of 3 who has a pregnant teenage daughter and an ex-husband with a pregnant new wife. And her life isn't exactly where she thought she'd be. We all had where we thought we'd be, and most of us aren't there. Okay, life happened somewhere along the way, and although we knew exactly where we were going to be, didn't quite work out that way. And I take a lot of inspiration. Reba manages to deal with life as it's been dealt her, which is nothing like what she thought it would be, with a lot of strength. She's able to stand back and see the comedy in it. And even the theme song of Reba, I'm a Survivor. And I think that's what I take from watching Reba and why I think I spend the money on Reba. The second one I'm going to talk about is Gilmore Girls. I love Gilmore Girls. It's got to be one of my all-time favorite shows. It's set in a small community of Stars Hollow. And it is really the story of the relationship of 3 generations of mothers and daughters. And the grandmother and the mother were originally estranged when the when the mother had a baby at 16 and left the home. And after 15 years, she comes back to ask her parents for financial aid to put her daughter into the right school so that she can get into Harvard and meet her dreams. And although Lorelai looks at it as Mom's trying to control my life, I have to show up for dinner every Friday night, Mom's looking at it as a way to be part of her daughter's life again, because that's what she misses. And between the family intrigue, and maybe it's because I didn't have a mother during my teenage years, having lost mine as a preteen, and all my siblings were grown and gone in the last 10, 15 years, I've reconnected with elder siblings. And so maybe that's why I really like the family relationships in here. And I love the community of Stars Hollow, with all the quirky characters and the community involvement. And I miss that. Being on the truck, these neighbors you see today never see me. And so I think that's why I'm so in love with the Gilmore Girls. And the third show I'm going to tell you about is Highlander. And no, I don't just watch it because Adrian Paul has a tendency to take his shirt off, although it could be a selling point, okay? Adrian Paul plays Duncan MacLeod, who is a 400-year-old immortal, and the only way immortals can die is by chopping each other's heads off, which sounds really weird, but it mixes mystery and history because he's 400. They always shoot back to when he was a soldier in World War I, or when he fought for Bloody Prince Charlie, or when he was a medic in our own Civil War, or when he was in the Roaring 20s and the costumes and the cars and all that wonderful stuff. And I love the history in it. And I really love the mystery and the magic in it. And I'd like to believe it could be true, because good could always win over evil. And there's only 2 rules to these fights, so even though the bad guys play dirty because they're evil, the 2 rules are, one is once the fight starts, nobody else can interfere, which makes it a fair fight. And the second is they can't fight on holy ground. And they display holy ground one week, maybe a monastery or a synagogue or a church, and the next week it could be an Inca temple or a Muslim mosque, or so it doesn't matter what the religion is, if religious practices are there. And some of the immortals are actually portrayed as monks and priests. And so it's kind of like they're not gods, and a lot of them serve gods, and they respect God. So I can believe in that mystery and magic. We all know magic exists. We see it every year when the leaves change or the flowers bloom. But it'd be nice to think that there's some other stuff out there that we don't see, and that good is always going to triumph over evil. At least that's what we like to believe. So in summary, the 3 shows I shared from Reba, I think I like to take her strength and that she's a survivor, and that even though life happens, 5% is what happened and 95% is how we take it. And we need to step back and look at the comedy of it, not just, this isn't what I want to do. From the Gilmore Girls, the family relationships and the community relationships that I think are so important. And from the Highlander, the mystery and magic that can coexist with our spirituality. So I think that the shows that we choose to watch may give some insight into the people we are. So remember, if I come and visit and you've got your TV on as background, I might be looking to see what you're watching. And again, I thank you all for coming and sharing this with me. Thank you for the giggle.
I don't like the Highlander, but I do like Reba.
Maybe it's because you don't like Adrian Paul taking his shirt off.
Adrian doesn't like science fiction stuff.
Oh.
He doesn't like
It's not, I don't like him,
love it.
it's I don't like science fiction.
Thank you, Dan.